सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। Second chapter, verse number 10. तमुवाच ऋषिकेशः प्रहसन्निव भारत सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये विषीदन्तमिदं वचः। The 10th shloka of this second chapter concludes the Upodghata portion. Upodghata means the story part is concluded here by this 10th shloka. Upodghata means the background, the reason that is the cause for the teaching of Lord Krishna. Background means the ground that which is the cause, the reason that which makes Lord Krishna to teach the scriptural essence. That means to teach that Vedanta, you require a person who is ready to listen. Vedanta is for whose sake? A person who recognizes he is ignorant. Ignorant of what? Ignorant of real and unreal. Who is not having Atma Jnanam. So what if he is not having Atma Jnanam, what will happen? If a person is not having Atma Jnanam, he will continue in Shoka, Dukkha. Because of that, moha will come. Because of that, confusion will come. So the confused life will continue without self-knowledge. The delusion, moha means a delusion, brahma, bhranti. Bhranti caused samsara, sorrow will continue for an ajnani. Ajnani is one who do not know the Atma Swarupam. So therefore, the whole first chapter and second chapter, 10th verse, the field is prepared for the teaching. What is that? Arjuna's sorrow, melancholy of Arjuna. So Arjuna asked Lord Krishna, why you are asking me to fight with my people, my own kith and kin? Better to go to any ashrama or taking sannyasa. Bhaiksham api ihaloke, it is better. Bhaiksham means bhikshacharyam. Instead of fighting and getting the kingdom, that which is bloodshedded, and can I live happily by killing them? Is it possible? So therefore, Arjuna, Krishna, I am not interested in this battle. And Another blessing for Arjuna is he didn't turn away completely and ran away from the battlefield. He stood there itself, and for a while, for a moment, he thought of, I may be wrong. This decision of not fighting in this Dharma Yuddha may be wrong. I do not know what is good for me. He came to that level. So that is a plus point in Arjuna. Therefore, he got the opportunity of listening Gita Shastram from Lord Krishna. Therefore, any person can accomplish anything when he understands his helplessness and recognizes his own weakness, and that problem is with me only, not outside. Therefore, let me find out solution from others. Who is there in front? Only Krishna is there in front of Arjuna. Therefore, Arjuna asked Lord Krishna, who came as a charioteer, and he found the teacher in Lord Krishna and asked, Karpanya dosha apahata swabhavaha prichhami tvam dharma sammudha chetaha. My mind is totally deluded. Which is dharma, which is adharma, what to do, whether to fight or not to fight. So I am totally confused. I am not able to take decision. So I am your Sishya. Prichhami tvam dharma sammudha chetaha. Sishyasteham shadhi mam prapannam yat shreyaha. Whatever is good, best for me, you tell me, O Lord Krishna. Please tell me. Yat shreyaha bruhi. Nishchitam bruhi, he asked. See, knowing his helplessness and finding the teacher, that Lord Krishna in front of him, he did not ask, let us come and take me to some other person who can remove my confusion. Lord Krishna, in this chariot you take to some other guru, somebody else. He could have asked. Instead of driving towards this battlefield, you can drive to a person who can remove my confusion, he would have asked. Yes, there is a possibility. Just now it is coming in my mind. Why only Lord Krishna he has chosen? See, this is very important point. He would have asked the same Lord Krishna to drive somebody somewhere else where he can get knowledge somebody else. Why Krishna alone? Why not other person? That means that Arjuna knows, recognized the teacher in Lord Krishna. That is very important. How Arjuna got the teaching? The qualification of Arjuna we have to recognize here. Why Arjuna got the teaching? Atma Jnanam, that which is the blessing in human life. Because he found that knowledge in Lord Krishna. He is the only person who can remove my ignorance. Unless a Shishya is not having that confidence in the Guru, he can never get the Jnana. These are all corollaries. You don't get in any books all this. We have to develop how Arjuna recognized or found that teacher in whom he saw that solution for his problem. Are you getting the point? Arjuna is one who found the solution in Lord Krishna for his own problem. Sorrow can be removed by that advice is going to come through the Lord Krishna. See, such a confidence. He has never heard from Lord Krishna. Okay, you told me that day Atma Gnana continue. He could have asked. Not yet. He has not yet started. In previous days, anywhere. See, let us all of us understand the Arjuna's Viveka Buddhi. That is called a discrimination. So therefore, total surrender is called, this is the total surrender. Not testing the Guru, whether this Guru knows or not properly, whether how he will teach or not, we'll see for 1 week or 2 days, 3 days, 1 year, 2 years, we'll go and see. If not, we'll go back. Any student goes to any teacher with that intention, the student is not qualified. Let's say a casual student and never get knowledge. Now we have to understand before entering to the teaching what type of mind the student has to entertain. I want freedom from all these problems, mental agony. I want to be free from all limitations. I want some happiness that is total happiness, and I cannot withstand with any confusion in my life. Let me have a peaceful, clear life in future at least. So therefore, recognizing his problem and finding the teacher for the solution with full confidence, and he has to approach. All these are required. If that is there, it is the Ishvara's job to provide the right teacher that moment. If you have real, again Ishvara Bhakti. All this you have to fill up, fill in the blanks. Shishya has to fill up his own qualifications sufficiently. At the same time, if you have tremendous faith on that person, Guru, if you are true to yourself, it is Ishvara's job to provide the Guru. He will come as a Guru and sit in front of you, teach thoroughly. No doubt in that. See, the Bhagavan Ishvara has got such a karuna, compassion. So all fulfilled here. Arjuna has got that qualifications. He is sort of seeking the help of Lord Krishna and found that real teacher in our Lord Krishna and surrendered totally without any doubts. So these are all fulfilled. What will happen next? The teaching will take place. What do you mean by teaching? A teaching that which removes all my limitations, all my problems. No more emptiness in my life. I feel complete Purnata, Ananda, Santosham. In spite of problems or without problems also. In spite of people or without people also. In spite of relations, without relations. In spite of possessions, without possessions also. I can be happy. That is what one is going to get who expose himself to the teaching, and he gets that through the Bhagavad Gita. That is going to come from the next verse. Let's say Bhagavan in this 10th verse, it says, He Bharata, Prahasanniva Bharata. Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, Hey Dhritarashtra, Arjuna smiled as it were towards Arjuna. Lord Krishna smiled at Arjuna. What type of Arjuna? Smiled and said this, Tamuvacha Rishikesha. Tamuvacha. Lord Krishna uttered these words with a smiling face, as it were, with Arjuna. What type of Arjuna? Vishidantamidam, who is crying, who is totally sad and sorrowful. Where is standing? Senayoho ubhayoho madhye. Who is standing in between the armies and fully with lot of sorrow, dukkham. And Lord Krishna uttered these words. What are those words? From the 11th verse onwards, the teaching is going to begin. We'll read that shloka. Up to here we saw in the last class. Asho Shri Bhagavan Ashocyanalvashocastvam Prajnavadanscha bhashase Gatasu nagatasuncha Nanushocanti panditaha. The whole teaching is given in this single verse. The essence of the teaching, essence of the scriptures. Manjula, if there is a gap, please come forward. No. Ask. Essence of the Vedantic teaching Lord Krishna gives in nutshell. Wise person never grieve, that's all. Over. A jnani, wise person means a wise person. Panditaha, panda asya asti iti pandita. Panda means jnanam. Ita means the possessor, the one who possesses jnanam. Is called Pandita. Panditaha na shochanti. Wise people never grieve. That means what? Who are all grieving, they are all otherwise in ardham. Otherwise in otherwise. Not wise. Not wise. So the grieving people are not wise in ardham. Not jnanis. What is opposite to jnanis? Ajnanis. So Lord Krishna is calling all the people who are all grieving, they are all ajnanis, ignorant people. What we are thinking, we are all intelligent and rising collar. We are all intelligent. The whole world, anywhere, whoever grieves is an ignorant, otherwise person. Otherwise, in Namma English, don't search in dictionary. Otherwise means ignorant person won't be there. Wise ki opposite otherwise, just my English. Okay. What Lord Krishna says, Sri Bhagavanu Vacha. Tvam asocyan anvasochaha. Tvam means you, O Arjuna, you are Ashocyan Anvashochaha. Anvashochaha means shuch dhatu means to grieve. Grief matter, sorrow, crying, lamenting, weeping as it were, weeping. You are crying, grieving, lamenting. Lamenting, grieving or crying upon whom you have to grieve. Where it is deserved to grieve, you can grieve. When it is deserved this place, okay, you can cry, start. You okay, it's okay. But when you are in this battlefield, in this situation, upon whom you are grieving, they are not deserved to be grieved by you. You need not grieve for them, but you are grieving. So you are grieving ashocyan, means for those who should not be grieved for. You need not grieve for them. Lord Krishna is deciding why you are crying, why you are lamenting for those people. You need not grieve for them. Why? I will tell you the reason. First he said, don't grieve. Arjuna may ask, why? You need not grieve for them. Why? Listen to me. You are grieving for those who should not be grieved for. That means what? Grieving is not necessary. First word parunga eppadi. First word itself he starts, that is called Mangalam. Parunga. நம்ம லைஃப்ல யூ நீட் நாட் பி சாரோஃபுல். போதும் இல்லையா, அது மேல என்ன வேணும்? பகவான் அதுதான் அபயஹஸ்தம், என்ன அதுதான் ரக்ஷணம், பிளெஸ்ஸிங். தட் இஸ் செல்ஃப் இஸ் சஃபிஷியன்ட். அசோச்சான் அன்வசோச்சஸ்தம். யூ ஆர் கிரீவிங், அட் த சேம் டைம் வாட் யூ ஆர் டூயிங்? பிரஜ்ஞாவாதான் பாஷசேன். ஒன் சைடு யூ ஆர் கிரீவிங், and other side you are talking like a wise person. You are talking like a wise person. Prajna means known. Just as the wise people speak. Prajnavadan means wise people talk. The speech given by the wise people. And bhashase, you are talking, really speaking, this speech what you are giving to me, from the first chapter onwards, you are giving to me the speech that has to be spoken by the Panditas. But you are giving that lecture to me, up to here I am listening, Purumaya. And you are grieving. Both are opposite. You are talking like a wise person, but you are grieving like a otherwise person. That's why Bhagavan smiled at Arjuna. It's clear why Bhagavan smiled. You are talking like a Pandita and you are grieving like an Ajnani. You are talking like a Jnani, grieving like a Ajnani. It is a split personality, double personality. Unknowingly Arjuna is talking. So, Prajnavadan, speaking the words of the wise, Bhashase, you are speaking, Bhash dhatu. Bhash means to speak. From Bhashase, you are speaking. Speaking what? Prajnavadan. Wise people words you have borrowed and heard from somewhere, not coming from internally, not coming. You have borrowed from them and talking like a parrot madre. Bhashase. Then second line he says, why I am telling this first line, Arjuna? Ashochan anvasochasnatam. You are grieving for those people upon whom you need not grieve. One thing. And you are talking like a wise person. Like a wise person means what? You are not wise person anartha. You are talking like a wise person means you are not wise. Why I am telling you, what is the reason? He gives the reason in the second line. Panditaha gatasoon agatasoon na anushochanti. Panditaha, the wise people, na anushochanti, they do not grieve. They do not grieve. For whom? Gatasoon. Gatasoon means for the dead people. For the dead people's sake, wise people never grieve. Gatam means asoon pranam. Avi. The life, the one who has lost his life. Gatam means gone, dead and gone. Gatasoon. Soon pranam, asu. Agatasoon, not gone, existent people in artha. People will never grieve, wise people never grieve for those people who are already dead and gone, and for the living they never grieve. When they grieve, there are only two options. Either there are existent people and dead and gone people. What do Loka, all the people in Loka, what they are doing? Either they are grieving for the people who are living or grieving for the dead people. What Krishna says, see how he starts the teaching, no? They will never grieve for the dead people or existent people. And that means you need not grieve. See, very funny, no? So you can grieve, don't grieve for the people who are existing. And now, okay, dead people, you can grieve. My people who are very old, if they die, you can grieve sometime, okay. Krishna says, even gatasu napi, even they die also, you need not grieve for that. What is this? Wise people never grieve for the dead people, non-existent people. Wise people never grieve for the existent people who are living. That means you need not grieve at all. But you are grieving. Something problem. See, the diagnosis here, you understand that Lord Krishna exactly diagnosed the problem of Arjuna. This is important. Just as Arjuna recognized, found the right Vaidyaha. No, Vaidyaha means here Lord Krishna is like a doctor, no? To remove the Bhava Roga Samsara. Samsara Roga to remove, whom you require? A doctor. Who is the best doctor? Just as you have recognized the best doctor, the best doctor also is supposed to diagnose your disease properly. See, first shloka itself, you can see the Lord Krishna's, that greatness, how much knowledge he has got. What a shloka, this shloka. You are grieving where you need not grieve. Panditaha, wise people never grieve for the dead people or existent people. That means what? Grieving is not necessary at all. Then what we are doing? Suppose we are grieving at any time. What we are doing? Unnecessary thing we are doing. That means in the Ulahattila, dukkam angarade thevaye illa nartham. Dukkam irundadane will cry. இந்த துக்கம் துக்கத்தினால அழுறது இதெல்லாமே அவசியமே இல்லை என மாதிரி ஏன் பண்றான்னா அதுதான் that is the reason I am going to tell you why they are crying, why they are grieving. I will tell you. That's where teaching begins. No, what a nice sloka. No, here this is called upakrama samkshepaha. Upakrama samkshepaha means the brief teaching in the beginning. Upakrama means the brief teaching, giving summary in the beginning. Upakrama. Then he elaborates from the 12th shloka onwards up to 66th verse. That is called Vistaraha. No, 18th chapter, sorry. 18th chapter, 66th work, whole 17th chapter is Vistaraha, and 18th chapter up to 66th verse, conclusion again. Upasamharaha. Upasamhara means conclusion at the end. So this shloka, 11th shloka is considered as the Gita Saram. We are seeing, in Tamil they put everywhere Gita Saram, Gita Saram. What is that Gita Saram? There are many places. So what is the pramanam for this shloka? How Lord Krishna is giving this means the teaching given in the Upanishads. So Arjuna wants to be free from sorrow. So you have to become what? To be free from sorrow? Become Atmavit, the knower of Atman. So that is what he says here. what will happen? Esham shantihi shashvati. Adila kadiyad. I am giving the Upanishads quoting. Yesham shantihi shashvati. Whoever is free from sorrow by getting Atma Jnanam, their shanti, their peace, shanti, shashvati, is eternal. To get this knowledge, before going to see that essence of the teaching, how a student, to be, to receive this knowledge, there are a lot of obstacles that which will not allow us to get this knowledge. Every one of us want to be free from sorrow. But what are these obstacles not allowing us to be free from sorrow? There are some obstacles. If you know them, you can be. If there is a gap, please adjust. Come forward. Please come forward. If those obstacles are there, I cannot get this knowledge. If I don't get this knowledge, I cannot be free from sorrow. So therefore, before entering into that teaching, let us see what are the obstacles. Am I free from those obstacles? If not, let me be free from them so that I can continue my study. So that, what benefit? Free from sorrow. Eppo Swami next class kullaya kekadimo. I do not know. You have to study thoroughly for a length of time. At least one course of Gita. You have to complete. Adikappuram you will not leave the Shastra. Adi vere vishayam. First obstacle is, firstly, self-knowledge. This what Bhagavan Krishna is going to give is a subtle subject. This itself is a big obstacle. It is not a very, very gross subject to understand. It is a very subtle subject. Because of that reason, many people cannot understand this Atma Jnanam. They will not get the knowledge because it is subtle. This is one reason. The first obstacle is எத்தனை reasons இருக்க பாருங்க. Second reason, first obstacle, second reason is this self-knowledge appears as a dry subject. Very dry. ஏதாவது கதை மாதிரி இருந்தா பரவாயில்ல. You can see in the next sloka onwards how it goes, above head. சுவாமி இப்படியே பயம் கொடுக்காதுங்க. பட் முன்னாடி சொல்லி வச்சுக்கிறேன்னா, the subject is like, looks like dry. Looks like dry. For whom? For unprepared person. Prepared persons like you, it is not dry. Generally I am telling. For other people, you are all prepared and coming, so it won't be dry for you. But generally it is, looks as though dry. And it is too abstract. Abstract means it is not easy to grasp with our ordinary sense organs, with the ordinary mind, ordinary intellect, like physics, chemistry, how you grasp with your intellect, mind, the sense organs, other sciences. You cannot grasp this Atma Jnanam just like that. Other people. That's why if it is possible, they would have kept it in the schools and colleges. After 12th standard you study this scriptural study, or post-graduation, graduation. Naturally, as these subjects, it is impossible. That's why it is too abstract. This is the first obstacles. That's why many people won't get this knowledge because of these reasons. The second obstacle is the student may be preoccupied. The student may be preoccupied with many problems already. Come to the class, but preoccupied, whole mind is preoccupied except Bhagavad Gita. Everything is there in the mind. Whatever Swamini is talking will not enter. Because, I used to give an example, You can write on a empty blackboard. Blackboard should be clean, empty blackboard, you can write. If already scribbled on the blackboard, what a teacher can write, tell me? Similarly, generally, students' minds are already scribbled blackboards. And the preoccupied, ஏதோ ஒரு problem மனசுல, thinking about the people. We are going to shift to a new house, and the new house எப்படி இருக்கும், என்னென்ன பண்ண போறோம், அது new car I am going to buy, how I am going to drive in Mount Road. All these things preoccupied. Any marriage is going to take place in the house, not preoccupied. See, ordinary நல்ல விஷயங்களே இவ்வளவு ஆக்குபை பண்ணா, இங்க சார விஷயம், துக்க விஷயம் எவ்வளவு ஆக்குபை பண்ணும்? ஓவர் மனசுல அப்படியே, it is hammering, without your knowledge, it just dashing in the mind. This is called preoccupation in the mind. That's why many people cannot receive the teaching. That means what? To receive the teaching, mind should be clear, open, not scribbled, not preoccupied. It is going to be occupied with Gita teaching, not preoccupied. That means what? இதுதான் முக்கியம், அதெல்லாம் அப்படி இருக்கணும். நம்ம அதெல்லாம் முக்கியம், இது அப்பப்போ. That is why ஒரு கோர்ஸ் 2 கோர்ஸ் 6 வருஷம் படிச்சாலும் கூட எங்க இருக்கேன் அங்கதான் இருக்கேன்னா மைண்ட் won't move from there. So therefore, never be preoccupied. That's why I start half an hour before class. You know, understand now? Why 6 o'clock I start? Swamini kada sannyasini வேலை கிடையாது, முன்னாடி வந்து உட்காருவா, அரை மணிக்கு நேரம் முன்னாடியே வந்து ஏதோ சாண்டிங் பண்ணுவா, பரவாயில்ல நம்ம 6:30 மணிக்கு கரெக்டா போய் உட்கார்ந்தா போதும். People think. My opinion is, half an hour before I start Akhanda Mandalakaram and Gita Dhyana Shlokam and some Shlokas, Gita Shlokas, at least your mind, half of the mind can be relieved from the preoccupation. This is true. You yourself knows that. If anybody do not know, please try to come to the class. You can understand how effective that is. Half an hour is very, very helpful. That is why in every class, not only here, wherever I take class, half an hour before I begin the class, not to teach you some stotrams and all. That is secondary idea, but main idea is to make your mind, fully attentive, quality mind required. Preoccupied mind can never receive the teaching. That is why I am able to teach, for few of the students at least coming to the classes regularly. Because of that half an hour I am maintaining. That means what? I am getting the quality minds. That's why they are continuing the teaching. This is the secret. So therefore try to come half an hour before. At least 15 minutes. Those who are working, those who cannot have time to come early, it's okay. But the stotrams, early you come, you see the difference, tremendous difference. Mind takes time to switch over to the subject. Try to understand. If you miss this point by 6 years, you think, mind was preoccupied when I went to the class, you say that time. No use. 6 years will not come back. Next obstacle is, and in the same second obstacle, one more point. Mind is preoccupied with what now? With many things, problems. Not only that, the same person thinks these scriptures do not have any solution for my problems. This is the conclusion of many people. அங்கே போனா என்னோட ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ் எல்லாம் போகுமா என்ன? இந்த வேதாந்தம், ஸ்கிரிப்சர்ஸ், பகவத்கீதா, உபனிஷத்து எல்லாம் படிச்ச என்னோட ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ் எல்லாம் எப்படி போகும்? என்ன கனெக்ஷன்? அதனால கம் டு கன்க்ளூஷன், the scriptures doesn't have any solution or remedy for my problem. அதனால மைண்ட் ஆல்சோ preoccupied and ஏதோ உட்கார்ந்து இங்கே இதெல்லாம் சுவாமியாரம்மா என்ன பண்ண போறேன், என்ன ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ் என்ன தெரியும்? So they come to conclusion. You see, you study scriptures, all problems will be solved. Every problem will be solved. That is what happens when you study systematically. So that is one obstacle. No, second obstacle. Mind is preoccupied and thinking that scriptures doesn't have solution for my problems. See the obstacle. அப்படி என்ன நினைக்கணும்? preoccupy இல்லாம இருக்கணும். And scriptures are the only solution, remedy for all my problems. They will remove medicine and நினைக்கணும். நினைச்சா it is relevant the teaching. அதர்வைஸ் கதா காலக்ஷேபம் மாதிரி. எத்தனையோ இருக்கு என்கேஜ்மெண்ட்ஸ், அதுல இது ஒரு என்கேஜ்மெண்ட் இல்லையா? நிறைய இருக்கு, அதுல இது ஒரு ஒண்ணு, வாரத்துக்கு ஒரு நாள். Some people will ask, what are you doing throughout the week? என்னென்ன பண்ற, எங்க போறேன்னா, அங்க போறேன் இங்க போறேன், அங்க கூட பகவத்கீதா கூட போயிட்டு வரேன்னா இப்படி எல்லாம் சொல்லுவா. My main thing is occupation is scriptural study, and all other I will just do my routine. Whenever the student says that, waiting for the next class eagerly for the teaching, எப்போ வருமா சப்ஜெக்ட், வீட்டுக்கு போனாலும் அதே தியாச, கிளாஸுக்கு வர வரைக்கும் எப்போ வருமா அந்த சப்ஜெக்ட்லன்னு இருக்கிறது. That student is the best student, qualified student ன்னு அர்த்தம். அவனுக்கு தான் இது கொஞ்சம் ரெலவெண்டா இருக்கும், படிக்கிறதுக்கு மனசு வரும். ஸோ never know the time, how the time is running. இல்லைன்னா வாட்சி பார்த்துட்டே இருப்பான், இன்னும் எத்தனை நிமிஷம் இருக்க. சரி, third obstacle is restlessness of the mind. These are all very important points, crux no matter how to receive the teaching. இது தெரியலன்னா நமக்கு டீச்சிங் வேல்யூ தெரியாது. The third obstacle is restlessness of the mind and too much involvement in material affairs, materialistic affairs or worldly affairs. Restlessness of the mind, இங்க உட்கார்ந்தா கூட மனசு எங்கெங்கயோ ஓடிண்டே இருக்கும். Vacillating mind. They cannot sit. எப்போ முடியுமா கிளாஸ்ன்னு தோணும். ரெஸ்ட்லெஸ்ஸா இருக்கும், கொஞ்சம் அந்த பக்கம் இந்த பக்கம் அட்ஜஸ்ட் பண்ணிட்டே இருப்பான். And involvement, too much involvement in worldly affairs. Such a person also cannot receive the teaching. The time pass மாதிரி ஆயிடும். So these are all obstacles. So therefore we have to understand now what he is going to talk Bhagavad Gita on two subjects, Dharma Shastra and philosophy. He talks about moral values, ethical values, Karma Yoga, Upasana and Atma Jnana. All these are the topics come in the Bhagavad Gita. What are all they? Dharma Shastram. What is the morality, ethical values, all these things will come. And duties, Karma Yoga topic, Upasana, meditations, Ashtanga Yoga and Atma Vidya. All are there. But what is the primary teaching? What for Bhagavad Gita? Karma Yoga. Somebody wrote a book. Bhagavad Gita teaching about Karma Yoga only. Somebody says, no, Bhakti. Bhagavad Gita, Bhakti, Upasana, he is talking. So people say, Ashtanga Yogam they say. They are all secondary, ancillaries topics. The main topic is Atma Vidya. Self-knowledge is the main topic we have to understand. So the primary topic is Atma Jnanam, that is called Angi. All this Karma Yoga, Upasana, other topics, Ashtanga Yoga, comes under Anga. Limbs. All are like limbs. Now, we'll read the second 12th shloka. नत्वेवाहं जातु नासं न त्वं नेमे जनाधिपाः न चैव न भविष्यामः सर्वे वयमतः परम्. Lord Krishna starts his teaching with this shloka onwards. 12th verse, he says, Hey Arjuna, aham na asam jatu. Jatu means in the past. Aham na asam, I was not there, is not true. That is not true. That what? Lord Krishna was not there in the past is not true. No, double negatively he is presenting. What he has asked, what he is starting, no? So, he comes to the point, why you are grieving, you should not grieve, why you should not grieve, is giving the answer here. I was not there in the past, and tvam na asam, ime janadhipaha na asam na. That na means not true anartha. I was not there in the past, you were not there in the past, and these rajas were not there in the past is not true. In the past means what? Now they are in present, no? All these rajas and you and I are all in present time. But in the past, we were not there is not true. That means what? We were there. I was there, you were there, and these rajas also were there. என்னப்பா இதெல்லாமே அதான் சீக்ரெட் என்னன்னா, he says that na is there. That is natu eva, such an idea. Ime janadhipaha means these rulers, Bhishma, Drona, all warriors, Maharadhis, all people who are all arrayed in this battlefield. Ime means these Maharathis. Janadhipaha means adhipaha means rulers. Jana adhipaha means the rulers of the people. Janadhipaha, tvam into you, aham me, na asam were not there, natu eva, it is not true. Natu eva, such idea is not at all true, means that is false. Then what is the truth? நம்ம எல்லாம் இருந்தோம் முன்னாடியே என்ன அர்த்தம்? இருந்தோமா? என்ன பேரப்பான்னா ஆத்மாவா இருக்கோம், இருந்தோம், இப்ப கூட ஆத்மாதான் இருக்கும். அதான் says வயம் சர்வே ந பவிஷ்யாமஹ அத்தः பரம் நச்ச ஏவ. Even we are not going to be there. Bhavishyamaha in future. Bhavishyamaha means going to be there in future. Who? Vayam, I, you and these rulers. Okay? Yadva jayema, yadivano jayehu, when you are confused, no? Either we will win the war, I may die in the war, they may die in the war, you are thinking, no? In future we won't be there and all. Bhavishyamaha, na bhavishyamaha, vayam sarve, we all of us, atah param means after this battle, after some time, we are not going to be there in future. That idea is also not true. That means what? We are now in the present and we are going to be there in the future also. We were there in the past also. That means what? We are all eternal. I, you and all these rulers are eternal. Eternal means Shashvatam. Shashvatam means Nityam. Nityam means permanent. Permanent means not temporary. All are permanent. So therefore you need not grieve. You are grieving only for their death. They die, you are grieving. So what am I saying? There is, we were all there. In future we are going to be there. Therefore you need not grieve. It's the meaning of this shloka. He says, நத்வேவாஹம் ஜாத்து நாசம். சி நாசம் என்ன தமிழ் நாசம் கிடையாது. ந ஆசம் நாசம். ந தூ ஏவ ஆஹம் அஹம் ஜாத்து நாசம். அப்படி ஸ்பிளிட் பண்ணணும். நத்வம் ந இமே ஜனாதிபாஹ நச்ச ஏவ ந பவிஷ்யாமஹ சர்வே வயம் அத்தः பரம். இப்படி ஸ்பிளிட் பண்ணணும். So therefore, I was not there in the past, you were not there in the past, these kings are not there in the past, idea is wrong. And we are not going to be there in the future also is wrong. Therefore, we are eternal. So this is called, that is eternal is Atma. So, I am Atma Swarupam, I am eternal. You are also Atma Swarupam, you are also eternal. These kings are also Atma Swarupam, they are also eternal. Therefore, Atma, as Atma we are all Nityaha. This is the Lakshanam of Atma. Definition of Atma. Atma Nityaha, you are Atma, I am Atma. Chollalamilliyo. Appadella sollamale. See how he presents. That is the greatness of the teacher. நம்ம மாதிரி ஈஸியாக சொல்லுவாங்களா என்ன? அதனால கஷ்டமாக சொன்னாதான் டீச்சருக்கு நல்லா தெரியும். சில ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் அப்போ தே திங்க் ரொம்ப ஈஸியாக சொன்னா நமக்கு தெரியுமே. சில ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் என்ன ரொம்ப கஷ்டமாக சொன்னா ரொம்ப கஷ்டமாக சொல்கிறேன் புரியவே மாட்டேங்குது அப்படி சொல்லுவான். எப்படி சொன்னாலும் கஷ்டம்தான். டீச்சருக்கு தான் கஷ்டம். கஷ்டமா சொன்னாலும் கஷ்டம்தான், ஈஸியா சொன்னாலும் கஷ்டம். That's why you cannot make all students happy. Really, to some extent, I feel I am making my students happy because they are not this way, that way. Very difficult to make the students completely happy. That's who are moderate. Whatever the Swami is telling is simple, I can understand. Sometimes it's difficult also. I will try to understand. And the மாதிரி ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் வந்து குருவுக்கு கூட ரொம்ப நல்லது. குட் பிராரப்தான் அர்த்தம். Guru is having good prarabdha. So therefore, this is the literal meaning of this shloka. If you go into deep essence of this shloka, the background, I will give you. What we have understood, Ajnanam is the Shoka Karanam. So therefore, Ajnanam Shoka Karanam. So what we have to do? Jnanena Shoka Nivrittihi. What Jnanam we have to get? This is the Jnanam. Jnanena Shoka Nivrittihi. Two important basic principles of Vedanta I give now. This from this up to end of this chapter, It's a very, very important topic, I said already. The first principle of Vedanta is, these are the very important, please note down. This is not like a kadai. இதெல்லாம் தெரிஞ்சாதான் நமக்கு further teaching can grasp. What is that principle? First principle, I the experiencer. By keeping what in Lord Krishna's mind is talking like this. Now, what is his intention? What is his knowledge actually? What makes him to talk like this? This type of statements. That is, Lord Krishna's opinion is, I the experiencer is different from what I experience. This is the first law, principle of Vedanta. I the experiencer is different from what I experience. First law, I will explain you. Second point, all the experienced properties belong to experienced object. All the experienced properties belong to the experienced object and do not belong to the experiencer at all. In the rendu purinja, you can build up that whole thing. All and do not belong to that properties do not belong to the experiencer at all. That means the experiencer, the subject. For example, Either, for example, eyes, eyes objectify everything. My eyes are objectifying the watch, objectifying the mic, but the eyes cannot objectify themselves. So eyes experience the mic, but eyes cannot experience themselves. And the property of this mic is not belong to the experiencer. So this is the one example. And the teeth, they bite everything, but they cannot bite themselves. That means what? I, the experiencer of the objects, is different from the object or not? I, the experiencer, is different from the clip. Am I clip? The color of the clip belongs to whom? Clip only, not me, the experiencer. Clear? So think over to these 2 points for up to 1 week. Okay, then you can be ready for the next elaboration this teaching. We'll see more in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi